Hey guys, JT the Ad Guy here. I know I've not posted in a while, but we recently had our banquet this past weekend. And I want to just come on here and say a couple words of wisdom to any young FFA members that are looking to be inspiring leaders and fighting their stride, and any older FFA members, a word of wisdom to them and remembering their duties. I had a retiring address, and in my retiring address, I talked about how we need to believe in ourselves. There's three things you gotta believe in if you're gonna be in the ag industry. You gotta believe in God, because He's created all this. He's created all this. That was Him. So you have to have trust and faith in Him. You gotta believe in teamwork and cooperation, because truly together we can make a difference instead of us separated. But the last thing we have to believe in is ourselves. We have to believe in our own abilities to lead, in our own abilities to make projects, and our own abilities to create opportunities. And I say this because you're going to be doubted a lot, especially in an industry as big as ag. And that's just not just the ag industry. That's in any industry. You're going to be doubted. You're going to be told no. You're going to be told you don't know what you're talking about and all this. And sometimes, here's the thing. Don't forget to listen to constructive criticism. But not all criticism is constructive criticism. And I see it too often where either a younger member or just an older member even too will come in with an idea and people just shoot them down right away, not even wanting to give two listens to what their idea is. But then when that idea takes off and it becomes really big, then they get in trouble for not communicating that idea because, well, you never told us about it, even though they told, even though they might have tried to tell people, but people that weren't willing to listen. So if you're having a hard time with stuff, or you're trying to create projects and you feel everyone's doubting you, believe in your own abilities and find your crew. You have to work with people sometimes you don't like, and that's part of working in this industry, in any youth group, and anything you're going to do. You're going to work with people you don't like. But if you have a project you really believe in, find your group, find your jam, find your people, work together, and create opportunities. That's the recent chicken production project I made at the high school, which is probably one of my favorite projects I ever worked on. And seeing the difference it's made in my community is just astounding. But that project, I was doubted a ton on. A lot of people were like, it's not going to happen. There's no way people are going to approve of this. There's no way the town's going to approve of this. There's no way the school board's going to approve of this. Guess what? I got it to work. And through teamwork with some others, we were able to get it to come together. But see, that project, we were willing to listen to at the town hall and school and listen to their concerns. Specifically, town hall didn't want people having chickens in town because they had problems after COVID. People were having chickens in town, and they didn't want egg layers and roosters because they didn't want people getting hurt, and they didn't want the chickens being there forever. So we came up with a solution. Let's raise broilers. 8 weeks in and out. Easier to teach herd management and life cycle with those chickens. It worked out, and we were willing to work with people to get that project to work. So if you have this big project you want to do, find that group you want to do it with, or even just strike out on your own and go do it. And be willing to work with others. But also, when I say work with others and listen to others, I'm not saying let them just blow down your ideas. Keep your ideas strong, but be willing to take on others' criticism. That's what I'm saying. So, I'm just saying this, especially for you younger members. I know it can be tough. I was there once too. You feel like you can't make a difference. You feel like nothing's going to ever happen. You feel like nothing that you do is right. Hang in there. You'll get there one day. You'll do that big project you want to do. It's going to take time, but you'll get there. And if you're super ambitious, you want to do it now, go for it, man. Go do it. But the other thing, too, is don't be afraid to make mistakes. We all make mistakes. We're all human. The only perfect human there ever was Jesus. And we all make mistakes. So no, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to learn from your mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes, but it's even better when you learn from those mistakes. The final thing I wanted to kind of come on here and say is to my older members who are in FFA, 4-H, all those other youth organizations I'm in. Don't forget our job as older members, as officers, as leaders, is to help younger members and help non-members understand our industry. I'll give you a great example. This past year, I got to go to WLC. And when I went to WLC, I met a great kid from New York City. It was really, really cool to get to talk to him, learned a lot of really neat things. The interesting thing I learned, we talked about pizza and cattle. And I got to learn about their family's pizzeria and how it's been their family for a long time and how they kind of came over here. Give me a newfound respect for pizza businesses and small family restaurants that have been in here forever. The other thing that we talked about was cattle, like I was saying. And this young gentleman I met from New York City believed veal believe the whole entire beef industry, so all the steaks stuff you buy, comes from veal. And now, if those of you don't know, veal is calves. It's not fully grown cattle. But it's not true that all the meat you're buying is veal. That's a small subsector of the huge beef industry. All the beef you're going to typically find in your grocery stores is going to be about 2-year-old steers, and for the most part. But through that, I was able to have a conversation with him about my experience with the beef industry, kind of teaching about that's not the truth of the industry. It's not all veal. Most of it isn't. And the other thing he was concerned about was chemicals in the food. And I explained we don't put chemicals in the food. If anything, we might put medication if they need it. Maybe something else if they need it. But the point I'm trying to make is people don't fully understand our industry if they've not been in the ag industry. And that's totally fine. But we got to be willing to listen and talk with them. You can't just get mad. I could have easily gotten mad in that situation and say, why would you be so dumb to believe something like that? No, I had a conversation. And from it, I grew as a person, he grew as a person. So, don't forget that we are educators as well. Even if we are in FFA and 4-H and we're learning about this industry, we can still be educators. We can still teach people about our beautiful industry. So, don't forget to do that. And also, I kind of touched on this earlier, older members encourage younger members. Allow them to make mistakes. Allow them to experience FFA and 4-H. Allow them to do these different things. Allow them to have fun. Allow them to make mistakes and learn from those mistakes. Because truly, through mistakes is how you learn. I don't know. It was just those things I kind of wanted to say to older members and younger members. Sometimes I see these problems and it's sad almost. It is sad. And I don't know. Just anything I want you to take away from this. Work together, encourage each other, allow each other to make mistakes and learn from those mistakes, and don't be afraid to communicate with people outside of our industry. Thanks again, guys, for watching. I have more videos on the way. Life's been crazy busy right now, but thanks for listening. And this is your sign to join 4-H and FFA. Thanks again. God bless you all.